Greetings everyone. Today we're going to do our first LEGO Technic build. It's the Firefighter Aircraft and it comes in at a whopping 1,134 pieces. This is quite a build. This set includes a lot of cool features, including adjustable landing gear, spinning propellers, moving tail flaps, and even a hatch on the bottom that can open up and dump water. As you can see, we have our work cut out for us. This build is 367 steps. Well, let's get started. We start off by building the gear system inside the center of the plane. This controls both the spinning propellers and also the retractable wheels. If you haven't built a Technic set before, I definitely recommend it. Now, they are a little bit more complicated, but as you'll see when we finish this gearbox for the center of the plane, you build some really cool stuff. Just to give you an idea of how complex this build is, the gearbox that we're building is easily over 100 pieces and over 30 steps. We found this part of the build to be a little bit challenging because each of those gears has to interlock perfectly so that when they rotate they push each other in sync. You can see we've placed 6 individual gears here and they all have to rotate together in tandem. Just a couple more additional steps and then we'll test it out. Now for a quick test, just to make sure all of our gears are interlocking correctly. Looks good. This section adds an exposed gear to the top of the plane that you can spin to control the propellers. And once again, just a quick little test to make sure all the gears are spinning properly. And they are. And now we're going to work on the front wheels of the plane. These can be raised and lowered, and we'll show you that later on in the build. And just like the previous section we built, the landing gear is very intricate, at least 30 steps, probably another 100 pieces. And now we're building this little hydraulic system that raises and lowers the front wheels. When the gear on the top there rotates clockwise, the wheels will lower, and when it rotates counterclockwise, the wheels raise up. Okay, now we're going to put the wheels on the front, and then we'll connect the hydraulic to the gearbox so that the wheels can raise and lower. And this completes the base of the plane, which we will then build around. And now we will start working on the fuselage of the plane, starting with the left side. The plane's body, or fuselage, holds the aircraft together with the pilot sitting at the front of the fuselage and passengers and cargo in the back. Or in the case of our firefighting plane, the cargo is actually water. To give you an idea of just how large this plane is, from nose to tail, the fuselage is 22 inches long. And even more impressive is the wingspan, which measures at 24 inches wide. And in case you were wondering, when we finish this section, we'll be about 1/3 of the way through the build. I told you we had our work cut out for us. And now we attach the left side of the fuselage to the base of the plane. That gray piece that's jutting out from the side of the plane, that actually controls the raising and lowering of the front landing gear. We'll show you that later in action. Next, we're working on the hatch located on the bottom of the plane. When the hatch opens, it disperses water below, putting out fires. Next, we will start working on the tail of the plane. The tail provides stability during flight, in a way similar to the feathers on an arrow. We will use this spring to control the opening and closing of the hatch. When the hatch is fully open, the spring will keep it in place, and when the hatch is closed, the spring will ensure that the hatch stays closed. And you can see with the use of the spring, the hatch stays in a firmly locked position when it's opened. Okay, moving on. Now we will work on building the right side of the plane's fuselage. The right side of the fuselage is pretty much a mirror image of the left side, with the only real difference being that there is no gear control on the right side. Now it's time for the obligatory like and subscribe request. If you've enjoyed this build and want to see more like this from us, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Now it's time to attach the right side of the fuselage to the plane. There is one difference on the right side that I failed to mention. The hatch release is actually on this side, right here. And now a section of the top of the plane right by the cockpit. And that fits neatly in place on top. Then we start working on the cockpit. The cockpit, or sometimes called the flight deck, is the area on the front of the plane where the pilot controls the aircraft. Unfortunately, there's no space for a minifig to sit in the cockpit. Oh well. Okay, and let's flip it over now. We still have some more work to do on the bottom of the plane. And now we return the build to an upright position because we're going to start working on the back of the plane, which is technically called the empennage. And there we go. Our plane is really starting to take form. And just a little bit more left to do back here to complete the rear section of the fuselage. And on this section of the fuselage is the tail number of the plane, LT42152. So one of the very cool features that we mentioned earlier that the plane has is a water tank that's used to put fires out. The tank is loaded from the top with panels that can be opened and closed. That's what we're going to build now. Real firefighting planes are designed to hold over 8,000 gallons of water. There is even a super tanker plane that can hold 24,000 gallons of water. And now to build and attach the rudder on the back of the plane. You may be wondering, what does a rudder do? Well, the rudder yaws the aircraft. It turns the airplane's nose left or right, parallel to the wings. It's primarily used to keep the turns coordinated, meaning the nose and the tail are aligned throughout the entire turn. And the stabilizer's job is to provide stability for the aircraft to keep it flying straight. And now we have a fully functioning rudder on the back of the plane and a stabilizer that can be adjusted up and down. Next up is the part you've all been waiting for, the wings. Plane can't fly without wings, right?
But helicopters can.
That's true. Wings are shaped to make the air move faster over the top of the wing. When air moves faster, the pressure of the air decreases. The difference in pressure creates a force on the wing that lifts the wing up into the air. That's basically how planes stay airborne. And now we have to build the gears for the propeller. On each wing is a pair of wheels that we have to build and attach underneath. And now let's do the same set of steps on the other wing. And you may have noticed that the wheels are adjustable. They can be in a fully standing upright position, or they can be lowered. And now Derek's just doing a quick test to make sure that the propeller gears on each side of the plane are connected properly. Each wing has an adjustable flap, just like on a real plane. Flaps change the shape of the wing and divert air around it. The setting of the flap determines if it's used on takeoff or on landing. Phew, we're almost done. We just need to finish building the propellers and attach them to the plane, and then we will have finished the build.
Yay!
Oh wait, not quite done. One more step. We need to fill the tank with water. Derek, can you take care of that for me?
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And there it is, the completed firefighter aircraft build.